in his arm and a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond, even if it went beautifully wrong. It's Stu's in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Or get a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable in the light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine and proportion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
This is my everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The Patriots would love nothing more than to finish out today's game with a second notch in that win column. It's the Vikings going up against the Patriots. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Larry, we are about an hour's drive southwest of downtown Boston in the area known as Patriot Place, Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots. The one running back is Gurley. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And here's a look at the starting offense. Now on second down, this is Gurley. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. The tackle there by Mark Barron. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
When it comes to J.J. Watt, we're about out of superlatives, aren't we? So let's just make this simple. One of the best to ever play the game.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards. And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. Got an open man. It's a noon one. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
On first down, it's Gurley. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Mariota now after the fumble recovery. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. 7 yards remain now on third down. They go play action. Mariota. He'll buy some time right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. 4th down, Mariota. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And now out comes Minnesota. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about it. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
2nd down following the run. Now Rivers. Anunua's got it, complete. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. It's complete to Anunua. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Short yardage, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost. Does the big boy have the juice? 20, 10, 5. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, and he is in. Kyle Juszczyk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it into play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Second down, Rivers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a play, looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They'd like to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Rob Gronkowski, he's the cowbell of this offense.
So good that you just can't call him a tight end. You call him a special receiver. Can often line up on the backside of a formation and be the primary target. And no one has more fun in this league than Gronk.
Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. 3rd down here. Quickly now a look at the defenders for Minnesota.
When I see Sharif, fun watching that come to the surface.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ten yards to go on 3rd. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Throwing, Mariota. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Tough to imagine any team wanting to give a player like this up in a trade, but I know they're happy to have it.
It is amazing, isn't it? But we have seen big-time guys change teams. Jimmy Graham, Brandon Marshall, and their new teams are really excited to have them because they provide big-time targets.
His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, Mariota buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will make our score 9-0. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board. Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 on the gain there, and it'll be 1st down Vikings. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. 2 Patriots there to bring him down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Anunu's got it, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Rivers now escaping the pressure right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 1st time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They come out here in the eye. Second down, Mariota. He's got time. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And this will be incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Caught on the right side by Jones. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The first down throw here for Rivers. Caught on the right side, Reed. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll throw again. Rivers. And this one caught by Coates. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
First down, Rivers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. That'll bring up second down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
A second down throw for Rivers. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Following the interception here, Mariota. They'll roll him out right. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Mariota now to throw on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now out comes Minnesota. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They come out here in the eye. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They've got his man complete. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7th. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Now a play fake here on first down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Mariota to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And it's second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. On the counter, Devontae. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
It went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. First down, Mariota. And right with it here, over the middle. And, oh, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, receiver won in a big way.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. First and goal. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Kyle Juszczyk. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Patriots add on to their lead. So they're going to go for 2. Mariota will look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Rivers on first down. Anunua's got it. Complete. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? The one running back is Gurley. And he'll get it up the middle. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Throwing, Rivers. And Jones has it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra. When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot,
they go back to the air or to the ground. They come out here in the eye. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On the give, this is their fullback. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
Rivers now. Over the middle, here to Coates. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mark Barron. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing is Mariota. Flush to his right. And here the hookup good to Victor Cruz. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come out here in the eye. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Again, they run with Gurley. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
To throw, Rivers. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now Rivers. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England. To see what they can do this time. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Mariota. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Mariota on first down. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Give him credit for batting it away, but unable to come up with the interception, and sometimes that joke does come true. Guys are on defense for a reason. Maybe their hands aren't quite as skillful as the guys on offense, but a lot of credit on that play for just knocking it away.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Mariota again. Oh, no, he lost the football. Look at the big man rumble. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Rivers is going to throw for it, and he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, he showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
And it's complete to Kelsey. A gain of 11 and a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Mariota to throw. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Mariota to throw it this time. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Shift together here from the D-line. Mariota. Caught. Kelsey, left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these 2 teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Mariota to throw it. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a 1st down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out here in the eye. 1st down, Mariota This is complete to guess who? Gronkowski again. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's pumped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Here's Freeman. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Well, part 1 is done, now part 2. Now the first throw in overtime for Rivers. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
First down, Rivers. Anunwa's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 14 there, and that leads to a Minnesota first down. The one running back is Gurley. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
There are so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Yards to go on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Caught on the right side, Reed. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Okay, so interesting here. A field goal would win this thing, but the kicking team on the sideline, and they're going for it on fourth down. Fourth down, Rivers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Well, let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on fourth down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Here's Gurley. Down right around the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy called.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Another carry now for Gurley. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now a handoff for Gurley. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that will be their 3rd and final in this overtime session. And as they talk it over, we take a break. We'll be right back. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Minnesota, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.
Live like it's Mardi Gras and go dumb with my whole squad and don't need the R&R. So regular life, I say au revoir. Hey, living life in the fast lane. May your pain only be. So please come join me. One thing, good vibes only. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks. Let's blow some up. Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one thing in common. We just wanna have fun. Hey. So what you wanna do? I think I'm gonna do something crazy. Come by, bring a rack. New grill and a bunch of snacks. And where we going, you don't need a map. You don't need a nap. You don't need jack. Except lots of people, some very loud speakers, cold drinks and good. Join me. One thing, good vibes only. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks. Let's blow some up. Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one thing in common. We just wanna have fun. Hey. So what you wanna do? I think about to do it. I think about to do it. Do something crazy.
Down. Do something crazy.
Do something crazy. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks. Let's blow some up. Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one. We just wanna have fun. Hey. Be someone different. Switch up the style. Do something crazy. Do something wild. Be someone different. Switch up the style. Do something crazy. Do something wild. Do something crazy. Do something wild.
Used to draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new uniform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you can do. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of deer in the light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with it. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or a linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky,